Hello everybody, this is a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. We are on the V's Place server today. Sinking Monster 100 Remnant are the keywords. I believe it is a level 34 darkness field. Here with a special edition of the Weekend Warrior. This Friday we did a Rare Blade Master upload in the Fragment Friday, so I thought to switch things up a little bit. We'd reintroduce our long arm, certainly no stranger to the Weekend Warrior series. Filled in a few times on uploads and doing little intros and everything. But a certainly less familiar face. Getting things started here, and probably a good call to have Apkorma up against those specters. Kind of difficult to hit with melee attacks. Which is a shame because we have a wonderful thunder-based attack. So we took down whatever variant of the Wood Harpy we're facing against. I'm sorry I didn't quite pay attention to the name bar when we targeted it. Gonna get rid of this specter here and then let Rig-Game go to work. Slowly replenishing our SP. Make our way to the next portal and hopefully have something we could hack up here. Well, we do, but they're sled dogs who happen to be weak to fire-based attacks. Water-based attacks. Death Cranes, that's the Harpy variant we're facing. Go ahead and use our melee attacks here, costing us a bit on the hit point front, but we had a few points to tank and make our way through the sled dog, get our SP back, pick up a Dark Knight and a Mage's Soul. Now we're letting our hit points slowly replenish as we reach the next portal, and we've got a Spectre and a Great Sled Dog here. Really hoping for the elemental hit that second time, and it came through. Now we're one-on-one with the Spectre, which means we should never be in close combat with it. Just take it out from afar. It may cast back at us, but this is a battle we are going to decidedly win one-on-one. I believe Spectres have the skill drain ability, so our ability to hit it would be further encumbered by close combat, when normally that's the very thing we would be looking for. Whole bunch of Great Sled Dogs here. And I hit the wrong button. So I reapplied Rig-Game instead of going for a multi-hit attack. Just keep striking away, get rid of the Death Crane. Need to reapply Rig-Same so we can get some of that sweet, sweet hit points back. Also picking up some really nice experience as we're playing through here, and certainly an abundance of portals here in the field on this glaringly sunny day on the swamp field. Position ourselves to have a little distance between us and the enemy. Again, mainly just trying to stay clear of melee with the Spectre more than anything. We weren't really afraid to take the Great Sled Dog on one-on-one. But having that skill drain hit us would have been an untimely fate to encounter. Got one more cast in us, and it looks like we are finally going to have to go ahead and use a Mage's Soul before finishing the Spectre off. Trying to work in as consumable efficient a manner as possible. Keep those profits if we can do so. Oh, there we actually got a hit on the Spectre. Wasn't expecting that. Still not worth the 50 SP. I was hoping for maybe an elemental hit if we hit it all. Was really hoping to hit the Death Crane, but that just flat out wasn't in the works. Got a portal right beside, but our speed boost is dropping off, and that means Apkorma is not too long to be had here. Blessing and curse of having the buffs. They're great, but they are temporary. So you gotta keep up with them while you can. Make our way over. Every time I see a miss, it just sort of sinks my heart a little further. Have such a finite pool of SP here, and magic is not our forte. But we're holding our own. Another Mage's Soul applied. And just keep circling and casting. Really want to take one Spectre down before engaging the other, rather than doing that awkward back and forth dance. I'm sure we'll have to do a couple of those once we actually get to the dungeon. And right now we're running into a whole host of problems, as Regime has worn off, which has dramatically cut down our ability to just chain cast. And really hurts when we get those misses. One more should do the trick. There it is. Now we have to let our SP rise to the point where we could let our SP rise a little quicker. Cast Regime, hopefully have it pay off to the point where we could follow up with a Reg Same in relatively short order, and now we are back to fully buffed. Maybe lightly oiled too. Tough to tell from this angle. Pick up some of the best grunty food in the game, La Pumpkin. And come upon more of our dear friends, the Great Sled Dog. Trying to go for the Death Crane there, but I'll take an elemental hit on the Sled Dog. And there goes the Crane. So as much time as the two Spectres took was sort of offset by how quickly we took down two Great Sled Dogs and a Death Crane. That's sort of the trade-off we have here. We can handle each foe, but it's going to take separate strategies each time, and there's just a whole mess of trouble. Got three Spectres, a Great Sled Dog, and a Death Crane. I think we'll just skip that whole group. Risky treasure. We'll grab that. Believe we're well clear of the enemy at this point. Though there's another roving Death Crane, I guess we could take that out real quick. Only 3 experience, but, you know, 3 experience for one spell. We'll have worse trade-offs in this game. Interesting. 2 more portals left. Do remember, you can clear a field of portals without actually engaging in battle. You just have to run through and activate them. Pick up a Resurrect there. Doesn't really help you much, but you can conceivably do it. Finish off the Great Sled Dog, and now we are casting at the Spectre. Go ahead and get a better view here. Nice front and center. Zoom in a little so you can see those glowing eyes just floating in the nothing. The fact that the Spectre has excellent choice in scarves. And there's the finishing blow. Finish off the final portal here on the field. So without further ado, let's ride Grunty Ride, make our way to the dungeon. Used a little shortcut. When you're riding the Grunty, if you hit triangle, you'll trigger the Grunty's ability, and the Noble Grunty, the baseline Grunty that you can raise in each server that allows you to do so, has the ability to sniff out Grunty foods. Certainly one of the most practical, and I can understand why they would put it on the Grunty you'd most likely raise. Time to reapply our buffs here, starting out on the first floor of this dungeon. Even up Korma, because it's attached to part of my gear and it's free. Plus, let's face it, it's kinda paid for its own existence thus far. Here's the Smiley Ray. Big old water-tolerant monster. Happily hack away at it, don't feel like wasting the SP, but we do have a fire attack if need be. Picking up the devil out of that chest before moving on. See what comes out of the next portal. Looks like a little bit of risky business. Go ahead, disarm that, and pick up some Hands of Fire. Large square room giving us a pair of specters now. Now we have some room to maneuver, so once again we'll actually be able to focus on an intended target rather than just blindly cast and hope for the best. There you saw that skill drain hacking us down by quite a percentage. We'll be able to finish off the first Spectre, but we're not going to get much progress on the second before having to pop that Mage's Soul, costing us an extra second and also a consumable item. Make it through the battle, picking up Paradevils and the death, but most importantly, picking up 18 experience. See, the stairs down are way at the top of the map there, so let's go explore the rest of this. Got sort of a hub room with a giant pit in the middle, and I mean just giant. Let's go into first person. Yeah, you can't see anything that remotely looks like the bottom down there. Fun little thing to do. Got a 90-degree turn room, followed by a treasure chest room. Well, a pair of chests in a room, not an actual end of dungeon statue room. Should be more specific. We'll end up with a Spectre right next to us in a very cramped 90-degree room. One of a pair, so they both sort of wander in and make life very difficult on us to cast at a specific target. Instead, we'll actually let the lack of a good camera angle work to our advantage, where we only had one Spectre on the camera at one time, meaning that that had to be the obvious target. Finally lets us take one down, and that puts us one-on-one with Spectre number 2. Also puts us out of rig game already. Amazing how quickly those buffs went. But we recover those and go into a little treasure room here. A, to forge for items, and B, to replenish our levels. Pulling some health drinks, not the most helpful consumable for us, but they're a nice little backup. And a Dark Knight before heading out. Left side of the hub room has an empty corridor followed by another one of these small treasure rooms showing one chest. So we'll make our way over there. Not gonna waste waste a whole bunch of time breaking open those breakable objects, but if you're looking for things like antidotes and restoratives, it never hurts to go ahead and crack those open. If you are particularly low, you can always roll the dice and just move in and out of the rooms that have a bunch of breakable objects. They'll respawn every time you re-enter. Making our way to the top of this hub section, got a semicircle shaped room with a portal right in the middle. That portal's got a great sled dog and a specter. Just gonna flail away at the sled dog, and now that that's out of the road, we've got some good distance. We've got the specter in our sights, and this should pretty well be game over for the specter. Seeing a dead-end corridor right above this room with a portal in it, and then we've got a medium-sized corridor just to the right with a portal before eventually taking those stairs down. Fairly sizable first floor on number of rooms, so we could expect this to be a somewhat deeper dungeon as well. Seems like our speed boost has worn off. Let's go ahead and reapply that.
Bloody eggs.
Pick up a bloody egg. I'm sure App Korma, yeah, it already wore off. Thought it was close, and sure enough it wore off while we were picking up the egg. I'm not going to bother reapplying it though until probably the second floor. I think we can make it through a portal without. And if not, then I did something seriously wrong. Here's the portal. And yeah, we may be regretting that decision a little, simply because of what we're facing, and that's two great sled dogs and a specter. Get this nice close-up angle of the specter as it decided to wheel around behind us, so we're actually casting from the background here and the monsters in the foreground. Bit of a perspective shift from your typical dot hack battle scenario. One more should seal it. Also, Rig Same and Rig Geem have worn off for the second time on this floor, meaning that the battles are fairly involved, and that we are very much earning the experience we are getting. Pick up a few different treasure chests in that room, and now it's time to bid this first floor adieu. Moving to floor number 2. Let the fairies investigate the map for us, and now it's time to get back to the action. By that I mean buffing randomly. Okay, now that that's out of the way, it's time to really get back to the action. First portal set to open, and we get another smiley ray. Not sad about that. In fact, let's go ahead and warm it up a touch. No elemental hit, but we still got about 400 damage across. Probably more efficient overall just to go in for the base attacks. Plus there was the chance for a skill drain. We didn't hit it, but the chance was there. 3 specters, all lined up. Not much to do now but cast like it's going out of style. Really got to back out of those corners when the specters are in melee range. Yep, that last one was the one we were fearing. the old skill drain that also put us down around half health. So we're going to have some very drawn out combats here. Such is the nature of things, I suppose. Just sort of hold our ground here. And just keep chucking spells until we find ourselves in sufficient danger to need to flee. The duck and cover method of just weaving through and attacking when convenient wasn't getting us the distance we necessarily needed in the hit point game. Standing our ground, a bit riskier strategy, but it's already felled 2 of the specters. And this is very much a situation where we needed results above all else. That's all 3 down. Once you get down to 1-on-1, it's fairly easy to finish off. And 27 experience, nothing to shake our heads at. Pick up some more hands of fire, and into the next room we go. More specters. More specter. 1 specter in this room, accompanied by a pair of death cranes. So yeah, it's the Weekend Warrior, but we are casting fools here. We are truly casting fools, as we are once again without our regenerative buffs. Let's go ahead and reapply those. Picking up a pair of Dark Knights. And a pair of Spectres in the following room. Yet again, one of these small 90-degree turn rooms, which means that there is next to no space to maneuver. Do have a nice zoomed out camera angle though, so we could actually see the most direct threat as it comes into range. Take a moment, heal back up, because I really don't feel safe past a third of our health. The inherent chance of a critical hit taking us out is just too great a threat. Got a treasure chest just sort of sticking out right in front of us. Cast 1 more time. Picking up the Hanged Man there. Gonna let our SP come back. Cast a healing spell. And before we pop a consumable, let's see what the next portal gives us. This would be a good time for a treasure chest. We don't get one, but we get the next best thing, a Smiley Ray that we're able to drain some skill points off of, and more importantly, just attack with straight physical attacks. Lo and behold, a warrior fighting like a warrior. Also running slow, which means our speed boost is gone, and with it goes Ap Korma, our magical attack boost. Make sure both of those things are fighting fit and ready to go before advancing to the next room, whose portal yields us that chest we were kinda hoping for last time. We get a Nightblight out of it and race our way to the door before it can open, leading us to yet another portal. Takes us to a pair of death cranes that should be finished off in exactly 2 castings. Pick up the devil. And a fire bracer. Looks like a fairly empty room to end off this stretch. So we'll instead head back and move down the side passage here. Couple more treasure chests to grab, couple more breakable objects to dispose of. Get the death, some cooked bile, an antidote, and the Hanged Man. Looks like just one more portal here on the second floor. Gotta hand it to this dungeon, really sort of making it difficult to traverse. A lot of backtracking, a lot of side routes. Not the biggest in terms of total area so far, but certainly making the most of these small and medium-sized rooms. Heading to the final portal of the second floor now, but first, let's go ahead and reapply Rig Geem and Rig Same for our own peace of mind and the ability to endlessly chuck ice cubes at monsters if need be. And need be we find. Death Crane actually survives the first two spells we throw at it thanks to a miss. And now we're on to the Spectre, a few SPs shorter than we thought we would be. It's gonna be kind of a race to finish this off without a Mage's Soul. But we do so even despite a skill drain. Everything all square here on the second floor. And so we are going to ignore a golden egg in this small room, turn right, and take the stairs down to floor number 3. Third floor is showing us a nice stretch of hallway to the right of the map. Most likely head that way first. After, of course, reapplying all of our buffs. Might just change my mind though. In fact, I will, because I see the stairs down to floor number 4 also on the right. Going up against some bone armies here that pack quite a powerful punch and are completely magic tolerant. Need to remember next time to just use our thunder attack and take them out right away. More importantly, we're heading to the left side of the map to clear this out, as we saw the stairs down and therefore know that all routes on this side of the map will be dead ends. Smiley Ray. Big old smile too on the underside of that monster. Also love the coloration and the pattern. Couple of death cranes, back off, and let our magic handle things. Two spells, solve the day. Just about to leave when I heard a chest spawn, and that gives us a dark night. Time to make our way to the bottom left of the map, where we've got a few more portals awaiting us. Keeping an eye on our buffs as we go. But we do reach the next portal, and inside we find a normal treasure chest, yielding us a fire lizard. Nice piece of gear for those at lower levels, as it's got Aptorv on it, that good physical accuracy boost. There you saw the Ryo Tempest doing a heck of a job on those two skeletons, taking down the bone armies before they could really be much of a threat to us, and we're going to go ahead and try it again. Basically just to take out the bone armies, because we know the death cranes can be got to with simple spells. That covers the left side. Bone army has to be a priority because of that punch. Just so much power in that. Not even death touch, just taking out a large chunk of hit points and consistently. We weaving our way back through. Probably gonna have to reapply laced rig, same and rig game before we finish these portals off. Got a treasure chest we neglected first time through here. It's got a night blight, and to the next portal we go. In it we find a trifecta of death crane. 1 down. 2 down. Let's see if we can make it 3 for 3. No, just shy. Sure enough, rig game has worn off. Kind of conserve ourselves till post battle. Fortune wire to chest 1, giving us a fire lizard, and chest 2 gives us the death. Couple medium-sized corridors, one being a long end, each having 1 portal. First portal gives us 2 death cranes that are dealt with simply enough. Extra cast needed for the miss, but hey, what are you gonna do? Couple bone army here. Take care of them right quick and in a hurry. And now it's time to make our way down to floor number 4. Pretty smooth sailing through the first 3 levels of this dungeon. Let's see what number 4 has in store for us. Looks like a potential treasure room already. Not sure how the rest of the map will unfold, but that is certainly a solid contender in the upper left there. Go ahead, get all of our buffs reapplied, and it looks like we get a bit of a breather out of this first room. It's showing a treasure chest, but no portals. 1 more night blight to the pile, and to the next room we go to face portal number 1 in this 4th floor. Gonna give us a little bit of risky business to attend to, and fortune wire number 10 is deployed, yielding us 1 more hands of fire. We see a dead end there on the bottom right of the map. Also see another risky treasure here, so been a nice easy entry into this 4th level. Pick up some spell blades. Next room's a semicircle. And we finally face our first monsters of the floor. Got a bone army that's going to take a fairly big jab out of us before we hit for 666 damage. Triple sixes, as you know, is the mark of an elemental hit at level 36 in that specific scenario. What else could it really mean? Just casting like a fool against these specters. I've found every now and then if you literally get them one on top of the other, you can sort of luck out and have a cruise spell damage both. Which is the coolest and saddest thing you ever did see, because you still have to remind yourself that you're wasting all of this SP just casting at them blindly because you never thought to find an item with better skills. Very high risk maneuver by us going for those specters instead of taking the time to heal ourselves. But fortune was on our side, and fortune wire will disarm this chest, bringing us another flare guard. Time to make our way up to this little 3-way intersection. Just 1 specter against little old us. Again, it hurts. It actually hurts a little to see so many misses pop up on the spells. It's like, the specter's a big giant thing with glowing eyes. How are we not seeing it well enough to throw magical ice at it? Treasure chest gives us the Hanged Man. Now let's make our way to the far right here, clear out these portals. Another singular specter. The old single serve. And that fight was over about a half second after it started, just waited for confirmation. 2 more portals to go on this side. First is going to give us a treasure chest. We will happily take the Hanged Man and be on our way. See what we have at the end of this branch of the 4th floor. Another treasure chest in a portal. This one's going to give us a Night Blight. Rig Game and Rig Same have worn off, but I'm not going to bother recasting them until we get to the next room with a portal. Not really necessary to be cautious at this point, as that's the last portal of the field. But it never hurts to practice like you play. You want to stay as sharp as possible for when you get those rare events, or perhaps somebody wants to test a dungeon that's a little out of your comfort zone. And so, in the interest of being the best team player possible, I suggest it's probably prudent to play the game as strongly as possible when you do play. Let's see if we can take out this Death Crane. Almost. We can almost take out the Death Crane. Once again, nearly killing it led to a miss, which led to far more time being taken up than I thought possible by that little Death Crane. Trying everything we can to clear these dungeon portals. One more spell should do it. Just gonna bite the bullet, use the Mage's Soul, and just like that we are through. Every other conceivable entrance has turned out to be a dead end, so this is going to be the statue room. There you see Rhynek looking on, patron overbeing of the Darkness Fields. Let's check out the chest. Got Forest Gloves, a Health Charm, and a Mage's Soul. So again, for those of you who missed the beginning of the video, this is the V's Place server. Keywords are Sinking, Monster 100 Remnant. It's a level 34 Darkfield. And yeah, we survived the day, made it halfway to level 37, and learned a few life lessons about elemental hits and physical damage versus magical damage. I do hope this has been an enjoyable episode, and I do hope you have been enjoying the content I've been trying to provide along the way. This has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming, thanking you for watching. We'll see you around.